Welcome to Section 3 of the Backend Web Development Using Go video course. In this section, we will cover how to create and validate web forms using Go. We will learn the following items. First, we'll show you how to build a web form. After that, we'll show you how to extract the values that the user entered into the form fields. We'll also take a look at validating web forms, and we'll discuss web form security. And finally, we will create a social media post form where we can preview a status update. In this video, we are going to learn how to build a web form using Go. We'll show you how to declare an HTML form and its respective form fields. And we'll show you how to declare a struct that represents the form and how to pre-fill form fields and display errors. And finally, we will show you how to render the signup form using the signup form type as a data object that's passed into the template. Let's open up the signupform.html source file in the gopherface form/templates directory. This source file is the template for the gopherface signup form. We have our form contained inside this form container div. We use the form tag to declare our web form. The action attribute here declares where the form data will go once we submit the form. In this particular case, we have indicated that we want the form data to be posted to the /signup route. The method indicates which HTTP method we should use when submitting the form data. Here, we have indicated that we are using the post method when submitting the form contents. For the signup form, each input field in our form is going to be wrapped in a div container. Each input field comes with a text label that describes what the form field is for. The input field is where the user enters data into the particular form field. And finally, we have a span element here to hold an error message in case the user makes any mistakes while filling out the form. In this container, we have declared the username field. Pay attention to this for attribute in the label. This attribute allows us to latch a label onto its respective input form field. One benefit of this is, if you click on the form's text label, the current focus will go to the respective form field. In this case, if I were to click the username label, I would be able to type right away in the username text field because it became the current focused element. Next, we have the actual form input field. This is where the user enters their data. Notice the value attribute. This is the value the form data should be, and we populate the value here using a template directive when the user makes a mistake and needs to resubmit the form. We don't want the user to have to type the contents into the form field again, so we can actually pre-fill the form field for the user if they had filled this out previously. Besides the label and the input, we have also declared the span that contains our error messages. If the user makes a mistake, we use this template directive to display the error. It's convenient because it's right next to the input form field. After declaring the elements for the username form field, we declare the div here to get the user's first name. Right below that, this code block is declared for the user's last name. The code block right below that is for the user's email address. The two blocks directly below that are for the password and for the confirm password fields. Finally, we have our sign up button. Let's open up the gopherface.go source file in the gopherface form directory. We've registered the /signup route, and we've indicated that this route will be handled by the signup handler. Let's open up the signup.go source file in the gopherface form /handlers directory. Here, we've declared the signup form type, which is a struct that represents the signup form. The field names field is a string slice of all the field names that we want to pre-fill in case the user makes a mistake. Right below that is a map of fields. This map will contain the form field name along with the respective value that should be in that particular form field. Finally, we have the errors field, which has the form field name as a key and the error message as a value. Here, we have declared a function called displaySignupForm. This function is responsible for rendering the signup form by calling the renderTemplate function along with the signup form HTML template. We also pass the signup form value as the data object that gets fed into the template. This allows us to access the field values and error messages directly from within the template. All the way at the bottom of this source file, we have declared the signup handler function. We create a new signup form and assign it to the variable s. We then declare which form fields we want to pre-fill with data if the user makes a mistake while submitting the form. We call the make function to create a new map for the fields field of the signup form. And here, we call the make function to create a new map for the errors in the signup form. Here, we have a switch on the request method. For the case that the request's HTTP method is GET, we call the displaySignupForm function to display the signup form. In the case that the request's HTTP method is POST, we call the validateSignupForm method. We will be covering this function in the third video of this section. Finally, in case the method is neither POST or GET, we simply display the signup form. Let's run the gopherface form program and access the /signup route. Now, as you can see, we are now able to display our signup form for the gopherface web application. In this video, we showed you how to build a web form for the gopherface signup page. In the next video, we are going to learn how to extract data from the web form.